It happened so quietly that no one else noticed. Crystal glasses clinked beneath glittering chandeliers. A string quartet played softly from the corner of the grand ballroom. Hundreds of the country's richest executives stood on their feet, applauding the billionaire at the center of the room after he had closed the biggest business deal of his life. He smiled, raised his wine glass, and thanked everyone for believing in him. Then a young waitress stepped forward to refill his water. Her hands looked steady, but her eyes did not. Without saying a word, she slid a neatly folded white napkin beneath his hand and walked away before he could even look at her face. Thinking it was part of the table setting, he casually unfolded it. 6 handwritten words instantly froze the smile on his face. Listen. Fake waiter. Armed. Left side. His heart slammed against his chest. He forced himself to keep smiling while slowly lifting his eyes. Across the ballroom, another waiter carried a silver tray toward the stage. His uniform looked perfect. His expression didn't. Around him, guests laughed, toasted, and celebrated, completely unaware that something terrible might happen in the next few seconds. The billionaire had no idea who the waitress was, or why she had chosen to risk everything to save a man she'd never even met. Before we find out what happened next, take a second to support our channel. If you enjoy powerful stories about kindness, courage, and ordinary people doing extraordinary things, please like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Now let's go back and discover how one small act of kindness changed everything. 3 hours earlier, Ethan Caldwell had arrived at the luxury hotel surrounded by cameras, investors, and security guards. At 48 years old, he had built one of the largest technology companies in America. Newspapers called him brilliant. Some called him ruthless. Most people assumed he had forgotten what life was like for ordinary people. What almost no one knew was that Ethan had started with nothing. His father had worked construction, and his mother cleaned offices at night. Success had changed his life, but it had also placed walls between him and everyone else. Working inside the ballroom that evening was 23-year-old Mia Harper. She had picked up extra shifts because her younger brother needed expensive medical treatment. She had been on her feet since sunrise, serving guests who rarely looked her in the eyes. During a short break, Mia walked into a service hallway to collect fresh towels. That's when she heard 2 men whispering. After the speech, one voice said quietly. "No mistakes," the other replied. Mia peeked through the cracked doorway. One man wore a waiter uniform, but she had never seen him before. He carefully adjusted something hidden beneath his jacket. A gun. Her heart nearly stopped. She backed away before anyone noticed and hurried toward the security office, but the room was empty. Every guard had been assigned to the ballroom because the celebration had already begun. She grabbed her phone. No signal. The hotel's underground service area blocked reception. She had seconds to decide. Running into the ballroom screaming could cause panic. People could get hurt before security understood what was happening. Then she spotted a stack of folded napkins. She picked one up and borrowed a pen from another server. Listen. Fake waiter. Armed. Left side. That was all she had time to write. Back in the ballroom, Ethan continued smiling as applause echoed around him. His mind raced. Could the note be real? Or was it some kind of prank? He remembered something his late mother used to tell him. When someone risks speaking up, listen first. Doubt later. Without turning his head too quickly, he glanced to his left. There he was. The unfamiliar waiter had moved closer to the stage than any server should have been. Ethan kept smiling and leaned toward the microphone. "I think," he said with a calm laugh, "before we celebrate any more, let's invite our amazing hotel staff to come up here. Tonight wouldn't have happened without them." The audience applauded warmly. The unexpected request changed everything. Every real waiter began moving toward the stage together. The fake waiter hesitated. That tiny pause was enough. A security guard noticed he wasn't wearing the correct staff badge. "Sir," the guard called out, "may I see your identification?" The man suddenly dropped the tray. It crashed across the marble floor. He reached inside his jacket. Before he could pull out the weapon, 2 guards tackled him. Several others rushed in from nearby hallways. Within seconds, it was over. The ballroom fell into complete silence. Guests stared in disbelief. Some had tears in their eyes. Others didn't even realize how close they had come to witnessing a tragedy. Ethan stood frozen. Then he asked one question. "Where's the waitress?" Mia had quietly returned to collecting empty glasses, hoping no one would notice her. Instead, Ethan walked directly toward her. "Were you the one who wrote this?" he asked, holding the folded napkin. She nodded nervously. "I didn't know if you'd believe me." "You saved my life," Ethan said softly. "I just did what anyone should do." He smiled sadly. "No," he replied. "Not everyone does." Police later confirmed the attacker had used a fake hotel uniform to get inside the event. Investigators believed the attack had been carefully planned, but Mia's quick thinking had stopped it before anyone was harmed. News of the incident spread across the country. Reporters praised Ethan's calm reaction. But every interview he gave focused on someone else. "The hero isn't me," he told reporters. "The hero is the young woman everyone overlooked." A week later, Ethan invited Mia to his office. She looked nervous walking into the enormous building. "I suppose this is where you thank me again," she joked. He smiled. "Actually, this is where I thank you properly." He handed her a folder. Inside was a full college scholarship, complete medical coverage for her younger brother, and an offer to lead a new charitable foundation dedicated to helping hospitality workers facing financial hardship. Mia stared at the papers. "I can't accept all this." "You already did," Ethan answered gently. "The moment you decided a stranger's life mattered more than your own safety." Tears filled her eyes. Months later, the foundation had helped thousands of families pay medical bills, continue their education, and survive difficult times. Every interview ended with the same question. What inspired all this? Ethan always reached into his wallet and unfolded the slightly wrinkled napkin he carried every day. 6 words, he would say. Then he smiled. But the real story isn't about the warning. It's about kindness. Someone with every reason to stay silent chose courage instead. And because of one small act, countless lives became better. Maybe we'll never attend a ballroom filled with billionaires. Maybe we'll never stop a dangerous criminal. But every single day, we have opportunities to notice someone who feels invisible, to speak up when something isn't right, or to help another person expecting nothing in return. Those moments may seem small, but they can change a life in ways we never imagine. Sometimes kindness looks like a smile. Sometimes it sounds like a few encouraging words. And sometimes, it fits on a folded napkin. If this story reminded you that ordinary people can do extraordinary things, carry that message into your own life. Because the smallest act of kindness you choose today might become the reason someone gets it tomorrow.